beautiful darlings, it's time for introduction to deck number 2 on this Top Meta Tuesday, 2/22/22. How are you? This is an Azorius Control list I've seen a variety of different builds of that consists of the usual trio of pieces: card draw, removal, and some sort of strong finishing element. Now, I just want to note, if you say, what's the finisher? Typically, the answer is, I will deal damage with creatures until their health is 0. So in fact, something like Cave of the Frost Dragon, any creature at all is a finisher. Wandering Emperor that makes 2/2s, any creature at all is a finisher. Even these Spirited Companions are technically a finisher. But this deck is a little bit more extreme in how few cards actually produce creatures that deal damage, and really the star that ends the game is the Hullbreaker Horror. A flash, uncounterable 7/8 that says whenever you cast a spell, return target spell you don't control to its owner's hand, or return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Return target spell is the real Bone Crusher, because if the Hullbreaker Horror has landed and you do anything, I don't know, let's cast Memory Deluge to draw. Let's cast Revitalize to gain life and draw. Oh, those proc Hullbreaker Horror, and you send it back to the hand. If you're at like 12 mana and you play Hullbreaker Horror, it's very, 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 very hard to lose. What's interesting to me is the rest of the list, what the card draw and removal options actually look like. So we have Memory Deluge, which is just a very, very solid look at the top X, put X in the hand, and it has flashback. Very strong. But then we also have like Spirited Companion, which is a nice early game chumper that draws a card. We have Witness the Future. Shuffle up to 4 target cards from their graveyard into their library. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. Put one of those into your hand and the rest on the bottom in a random order. Hey, this is a pretty nice way to just get back our Hullbreaker Horrors and other threats, and also make sure that we don't mill ourselves out. Things like this. Kind of an interesting way to make the game go on longer. We also have things like Revitalize to gain life and draw a card. In terms of the removal in this list, we have the expected Doomskar, destroy all creatures, Farewell, which is just an extraordinarily good card. It exiles artifacts, creatures, enchantments, graveyards. Mwah, it's so good. We also have the Wandering Emperor, whose -2 is excellent. Exile tap target creature, you gain 2 life. It's excellent. And this list makes use of March of Otherworldly Light. As an additional cost, you can exile stuff, but basically it's X white, exile target artifact, creature, or enchantment with mana value X or less. This not only has extraordinary art, but also exiles. Very, 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 very powerful card. It can be quite expensive, but the fact that it hits creatures, artifacts, and enchantments makes its versatility astounding. And then we have another, just I would say some expected pieces that make sense. Disdainful Stroke, it's very strong in the meta. Valorous Stance hits dragons and these large enchantment creatures. It's strong in the meta. Jwari Disruption, because we can. Total amount of land, it says 20, but our spell lands, there's another 4 here. There's another 3 in the Seagate Restoration. There's another 1 in Emeria's Call for a total of 28 lands. Now, because I'm still experiencing some eye strain-a-roo, some eye strain-a-roni, we're just going to turn off this light. It's going to cause some slight graying, basically right here in my background. But frankly, I like my eyes more than I like having a really, really flat background. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the sideboard in a little bit, but I just like playing best of 1 to get my footing with the list. We just got done playing Naya Runes, which was lovely. Which was just lovely. Loved it. So fantastic. Worked better in best of 3. Just works better in best of 3. I like sideboard. Mr. Food and Drank. As your name would indicate it, Mr. Food and Drank. Celebrating with food and drank in the form of 10 gifted subs. Thanks, Mr. Food and Drank. And I do have to ask, what is your favorite combination of food and drink? Huh? What's your fave? What's your fave? What's your frickin' fave? Huh? I think the Spirited Companion is actually kind of a delightful little card. Just a delightful little card. I think I will play Otawara, Soaring City, because again, the art's beautiful. But I really want to be able to have some flexibility on this upcoming turn if we need to. Now, I don't think I want a Jwari Disruption. I think that this is actually an acceptable spot to just play the Spirited Companion. It's a fantastic draw, because then this lets me just kind of leave everything up. Mr. Food and Drinks, a steak and an old-fashioned. Oh my god. I love old-fashioned. Old-fashioned with a cherry is one of my favorite drinks. I got a buddy that, like, really likes making old-fashions. You know, he has, like, the big custom ice cube and, like, the little special, you know, special drink-shaped glass thing, container. Puts in fresh cherries, and it's so good. So I think with the Spirited Companion, I just say, chump a dump, bump, chump it up. Okay, so I'm going to play the Deserted Beach. Right around 4 and 5 is where Mac and Cheese's list can really start to do big stuff. I mean, what my opponent is basically doing... Ah, there it is. Can't do nothing about that. My opponent is using the Vampire Blood Token style aggro list that Gabe Nassif was streaming some of right after Crimson Vow came out. And it's really just an aggro list that tries to go the distance. But these Vampire lists have started to really pop up in popularity with the new cards in Neon Dynasty, particularly Oni Cult Anvil, these ones where you sack artifacts and it turns things into 1/1s. You can sack an artifact to deal 1 damage and gain 1 life. Our opponent obviously just cycled there. We can go ahead and Eiganjo. I really think that for these legendary cards, these legendary lands, 1 is obviously a guaranteed good one. 2 is probably about where I think most people should settle. So we're getting to the point where we're about to hit Farewell. I'm going to play this on the blue side. We're getting to the point where we can about play Farewell. Farewell just completely craps on Villain's list. Like, just completely destroys. Alright. Deadly Dispute. Yeah, this list just has a lot of ways to just make little artifacts. You know, creatures like the Blood Tithe Harvester are very good for, you know, just producing. A little extra blood token here. Oh yeah, nice. Really, really terrific. So, do I care about that? I think I don't. I think it's better for me to Memory Deluge at end of turn. Look at the top 4, put 2 in the hand. We have Revitalizes. We have... Hell, even a Doomskar would be good. Definitely the Revitalize. Definitely not Valorous Stance. I think not the other one. I mean... Alright. Deserted Beach it is. And then next turn, we just blow out everything. Like, we really smoke that, huh? We, like, really blow it up. Oh my god, Mac and Cheese is so awesome. Astencia Uprising. Oh my god, yeah. Sure. Oh, it's so good. Gauntlet Man. Gifting 5 and staying alive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Uh-oh. I actually forgot about the sacrifice to deal 7. Oh, wait, I needed to do that right then and there. Uh-oh. Yep, no, I did this in the wrong order. Alright, my opponent making a mistake. Alright. Just not the graveyards, huh? Alright, great. Jim Davis. Oh my god, Jim Davis caught us at the perfect time in our lives. The perfect time. Jim, how are you? How's your stream been? I hope grand, I hope great. I hope nifty and thrifty in every single way, because we have escaped with an incredible display of luck. It's really our best talent is how lucky we are. Well, do I want a Hullbreaker Horror here? You know, it might actually be better to just farewell. I'm gonna do it. No stroke on Uprising. No McIntyre, because I miscounted the number of permanents they had, which meant that, you know, they actually totally, absolutely could roast us. It's perfect. Now, do I want a Seagate Restoration here? Or am I just looking to Hullbreaker Horror? Opponent has burned down the house, so I should really just Memory Deluge, huh? Well, boo. Well, boo, ooh. Gauntlet Man says, I've been on a 16-month streak and I forgot about it. I still watch a lot of content on YouTube, LOL. Well, hey, thanks, Gauntlet Man. Oh, DOTBB. I can't be countered. Oh, this has fucking menace, doesn't it? Alright, we misplayed this like 6 times. Jim, you should have waited 5 minutes to host me. Dude, isn't that incredible that the Stancia Uprising is the one that picked us off? Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's nice. That is some good stuff. Yeah, I saw the Stancia and we hovered over and we're like, we'll just exile in a little bit. And we were mistaken. Big old mistaken. It's fine. It's good to start off with a loss. Brings us great humility. Since we only have 3 lands in the hand, I'm probably going to just plop down the Jwari Disruption. So that we can revitalize on a later turn. I'll Hengegate for white and just tuck the Doomskar away. Doomskar. Goran says, it's okay, we're learning. If only I could use that excuse. No, I'm unfamiliar with Stancia Uprising. Unfortunately, Velrun, we ran the shit out of that card for, like, quite some time. Okay, what are we? Alright, so this appears to be the Jeskai Hinata list. And Hinata says that if you have targeted spells... If you have targeted spells, they cost 1 less for each target that they hit. You know it's a good card that kind of falls under that category? You guessed it perfectly. It's Magma Opus. Oh yes, Restoration of Eiganjo. Cool that there's like ramp thingies. Rampy babies. All the stories. Carbon Michaels gives such an enormous message. I love Carbon Michaels says, hi Dan, I'm loving the stream, the shirt, the new lighting, and your general positivity. Fuck you, Carbon Michaels. Such a basic sense. I'm sorry. I'm on the vibe of the people helping people to level up each other, as it were. All the support is amazing. I just had a quick question, and then I'll be out of your hair, which is very poofy today. When redeeming, I send a message in sub only. Should one be more inclined to try to fill the message as much as possible, getting multiple ideas, thoughts, wants, desires? Or is it more important to have a more concise, and then it cuts off? I would definitely say it's that second one. Should I exile this now? I mean, I actually think it's a good a time as any to do this. Submits here, good lord. Seems like a nice opportunity to do some stuff. Here's the thing, Carpin Michaels. There is literally no reason at all for channel points at any point to exist on this platform in a way that's useful. It is the best example of infinite scaling, right? Like, I have nothing else to do. I actually am going to witness the future. This player is going to shuffle these ones into their library. This guy, day 9. Hey. I mean, fuck. I guess this one, land is good. Like, dude, you know what I mean? Lose more choices. What do you mean channel points are worthless? Dude, there's no, like every video game every video game economy in the last 30 years has this problem where if people can infinitely generate a resource, there needs to be sinks. There needs to be ways to get it out. Gotta get it out. Otherwise, they become worthless, like, super fast. Just look at, like, gold in Diablo 2. It's me. The Hall of the Storm Giants. Right, like, dude, there needs to be ways for channel points to get spent, and to go places, and to leave, and to exit the economy, right? To exit. And there's gambling. You can bet channel points on things. You can do that. But you know what the problem is? It's not exiting the system. It's just moving around. It's just moving around. All right, so my opponent is playing lots of land. I mean, it's probably going to be a Starnheim Unleashed or some such thing. Gemini is to just mint the channel points on the blockchain. Well. Oh my god. Alright. You know what? I think we should exile all artifacts, creatures, enchantments, and graveyards. What a good dog. Oh, Memory Deluge is perfect. So, like... So... If there was, like, a concise and excellent way to have people consistently exit them from the system, like, great. But, I mean, really, probably what we should do if we were, like, really looking hard at it and stuff, if we were really looking hard at it, we would increase the cost of redemption every single week. My god, have you seen the inflation that Day 9 has on his channel point thing? Oh, I know. It was ridiculous. We're actually probably just going to win with this Hall of the Storm Giants, man. This thing is a good one. March of Otherworldly Light. So good. Binding of the old gods. Well, aren't you just a patient little princess just sitting there looking at me? So, I don't know. I'll be honest. Carbon, you do whatever the hell you want with your channel points because, you know... Oh, is there a way to gift channel points? Can I just, like, click on you and give you, like, 500? Is that a thing? Alright, so now we don't attack, because conceivably, the villain has some slick, sick technique to block it, to deal with it. Or we were just dead. But I still prefer this play, where this thing happens, and then I destroy it, you know. Yeah, I think that the thing that would make me most happy is if everyone used way too many channel points to leave completely pointless messages as often as humanly possible. That would be sick. You know, I will admit, it never occurred to me that March of Otherworldly Light can actually hit creature lands. That's, like, very, very sick. Memory Deluge. Ooh. I doubt there's counter spells in 5-color enchantment lists. I doubt it. There's probably a Brilliant Restoration lurking somewhere around there. Ooh. I love to see this one. Let's go ahead and put the plane in Spain down. There it is. Sure. Oh, that's some good sick news right there is what that one is, man. Yowzers. All the Storm Giants, here I go. Oh. What's this thing do? Okay. Ooh. And away it goes. Yep, seems good. Colossal Sky Turtle is just awesome. This is like an awesome card. I love seeing it there. 2-point perspective says, I hear that we're wasting channel points. Hell yeah. Oh, I see Ghost Stalker. Oh, is making them even more useless by just deleting anything that anyone says. There it is, Ghost Stalker. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, this is... It's war. Alright.
Let your blade do the talking.
+1/+1 counter on you. Do 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 do. Ba da 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 do. Do 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 do.
Remember your training.
Yes. Yes, everyone. Let anarchy rise up. Oh, Ghost Stalker just cleared the chat room. That's incredible. He just literally clears the whole chat room. That's amazing. You know what? I'm going to do that too. Let's... All right, this is becoming chaos. All right, let's see here. All right, there it is. Look at that. Oh, we're cleared, but not for long. Yeah, there it is. Look at it. We were just doing it again. You won't silence us, Dana. I know. We're going to do follower-only, sub-only, emote-only chat. Turn X non-legendary cards. From your graveyard to your hand. Alright, so that's... that thing happens. Oh, look at this... Dude, this turtle. This turtle. They're the world's most fearsome turtle team. Alright. Forgive me, Ghosty. Feathery JP says, hey, and I sadly need to go, apart from just getting here because of stupid work tomorrow. But I just want to say thank you so much. At the beginning of last year, school had me omega stressed since it was time for exams that determined if I'd gone to university, I wanted or not. Your videos and streams honestly got me through that time, so thank you so much. We're happy to have been here for you. That's our entire goal on any given day. Hey, Rambunctious. I sent you a little heart in chat. I recall that you had a... Oops, I'm sorry. It's my... Oh, my God. I thought I hit spacebar. Oops. I'm a jerk. I remember you had a request about NAP grad school. I'm happy to talk a little bit about that. And then let me also say, for any of you darlings, I think we're just going to go straight into best 3. You darlings who are participating in the spamming game, let's go back to a normal chat. Let's go back to being normal people. That was fun while it lasted. That was fun. Sorry, Ghosty. That was really good. So here we go. Let's take a peek at what the sideboard even is. So we have some negates in there. Makes sense. Faithbound Judges, Defender, Flying Vigilance, right? These are just... with Disturb of 7. When do we put that on there? Probably. This is good in a lot of matchups, probably. Doomskar for the aggro matchups, Hullbreaker for the control, Portable Hull, and Sunset Revelry seem like acceptable ones. In aggro. Yeah. Tested talents. Oh, I mean, it's a very straightforward one. This is perfect. Play this, but best of 3, Azorius Control. Yeah, I always whistle hot buttered popcorn, baby. All right, we're in BO3. We're in BA3. So I'm probably gonna favor getting double white early, just due to Doomskar. So I'll probably play Hengegate Pathway instead of the, I don't know what it is, Wetgate Pathway or something like that. Oh, Mistgate, sure. I'm not in charge of the naming. On the white side, Spirited Companion. What a good dog. Oh my god, double dog? Look at this. Alright, well this is... it's a little bit interesting. Do something that might look a little peculiar. I am going to play the Mistgate first, and then I'm going to Spirited Companion. Reason being, my opponent could have a Jwari Disruption, and I actually kind of don't want to be up against that. It's pretty important to me to make sure that I can properly deal with this stuff. But the left. So these farewells are actually probably not useful. Expert control list. Yeah, I actually do want the Disdainful Stroke. It seems quite nice, actually. I'll just go ahead and play my little Spirited Dog. The white since I have a blue guy here. Dude, these 1/1s are just going to smack. Remember how I said Disdainful Stroke is very good. Oh. Oh my god, my dogs. Ah! Otawara, Soaring City. This is just really nice, even as like a 1 or 2 of. Nuke of Oaths, the Spirited Companion's such a good boy. God, really the best boys. Do I want the Deluge? I think I do. I still have the 1 available to make sure Jwari Disruption doesn't hit it. And if this gets countered, I think that we're still okay with that. This is a good one. Bless you. Please don't sneeze into my face, darling. This is not that useful. Seeing Restoration, I actually think is it. Go ahead and play the Cave of the Frost Dragon. look at this little cat. She's trying to... I'm crossing my legs, different from how I normally cross them, and I think that she's, like, a little irritated with me about this. Hey, excuse me. So, I think I'm just going to hang on to the March of Otherworldly Light. So, I mean, I think it's going to be a pretty clear Memory Deluge, end of turn. Can we not chew on this, please? You know, this is either a completely fine play, or we have just run into the Jwari Disruption. But I was thinking about it. I think Jwari Disruption is probably... Alright, I've crossed the right over the left. Jwari Disruption is probably fine to run into. Nice. My opponent has... This is, like, literally way too busted a play for me to not at least try.
I am the Emperor of Kamigawa, and I will protect my people.
Is there like a sacrifice a creature to counter a spell? Alright, this worked out. This worked out for us. This worked out for us. Dude, are there other streamers whose pets are as, like, regular on the stream as my little babies are? I mean, these cats are with us a lot. Oh yeah, Shiro and Brian Kibler is probably a good example. So the real question is, how do we pick off this glass? I think that's probably going to be our goal right now. Because, like, because pets make a lot of appearances. Yeah, actually, yeah, Voxes. When animals. Okay, let's... Sweetheart. Exile target monocolored permanent. Gross. Ah! Yeah, I guess we're just gonna pass. A little bit. Typically, control versus control is won through card advantage, so, you know. I think we're doing okay in this department. Very good card to get. Hullbreaker Horror! Alright, welcome! So we're gonna put that there. Destroy you. Alright. Disdainful Stroke. That one. Sure.
Let your blade do the talking.
Let your blade do the talking. So, we actually have a reasonable amount of stuff. Otherworldly Vitals. Okay. That is okay. I think we're alright.
Strike fast and strike hard.
Strike fast and strike hard. Yeah, I'm actually going to Memory Deluge here instead of any of this. It's like we have... Let me tell you, if you want to see what some face-up gameplay looks like, it's flashing something in and then not making the creature. Like, it's pretty clear what's up.
Remember your training.
Exile the Wanderer. This only gets artifacts, creatures, or enchantments. So I'm literally just going to play my own Wander. So then we're just going to be like... Deserted Beach. Farewell. I don't actually think... I mean, I have the Memory Deluge in the graveyard, but... Enchantments, creatures, artifacts. Whoosh. Alright.
We must
Spirited
protect
companion.
the people.
Truly spirited. Guy draws a card. That's pretty good for us. As that doesn't trigger ward. Yeah, ward is only on target.
Let your blade do the talking.
Yeah, I can't stop that. There's actually some good amount of creatures in here, especially with the graveyard for master. Trespasser.
We've got the edge in this fight.
Alright, I mean, so there's a reasonable question, which is like, Sean, why are you not just slamming down a Hullbreaker Horror? Like, as quickly as humanly possible. We actually do need to spend some time making sure that we are kind of carefully protecting our creatures, making sure that we're not... This is destroy, so it's actually become indestructible. We want to make sure that we are always getting enough cards to deal with things that are being... You know, that are targeting our things. Oh, actually, I should have killed that one. You know what, that's... No.
May
1, 2,
your
3, 4,
blade
5,
strike
6, 7,
true.
8, 9. It's fine. Yeah, we're so far ahead, we're just trying to make sure that we maintain the quantity of cards. Alright, so now we can March of Otherworldly Light for 0, confirm 0, submit 0, exile this, and then we return target spell you don't control its owner's hand. And then we just more or less can win in a turn. So, let's see, we don't need Doomskars. Don't actually need the Valorous Stances. Fading Hopes, probably not. Things that do seem good is Hullbreaker Horror, Test of Talents, and Negates. You need to make a little more room, though. Just like a little bit more room. Probably not this Witness the Future. Probably not the March of Otherworldly Light. Those are the ones that really felt like they hung in the hand for a while. I think I do want the Revitalizes and various cycly things. I think it seems good. I think it seems good. I'm going to send this one back. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. Get that dog out there. Like I said, man, let's get that dog out there. I think it's actually really important to make sure that you have enough land in a control list, because, oh boy, what a perfect example. Like, in control versus control matchups, the first thing that you're trying to do is to have more cards than your opponent does in hand. That is, like, the prime and most important thing that you want to be doing. Because then, if you have more cards, assuming you're going 1-for-1, eventually you overcome them, and then that's... Whoa! Negate on the Revitalize. Sure. Sure. Return my dog. Kind of like a DIY cycle. And I'll do this in the day. Yeah, you want to make sure you're hitting a land every turn, because, again, if your goal is, I want to try to have more overall cards, the next thing that you need is a lot of mana to be able to cast 2 or 3 things in a turn. My opponent missing lands here is going to be very extremely crazy painful for them on subsequent turns. So I actually want to play this here, because I want to be able to Deluge and negate. So let this turn be case in point as to why you want to get ahead of your opponent with lands in a control versus control matchup. Opponent probably has some sort of counter magic. Negate the Test of Balance. There it is. And I think, therefore, it's easy in control matchups to just be putting in tons of answers and responses and wanting to get more things that can, like... No, like, Spell Pierces, maybe we can get another one of those, but, like, really having 27, 28 land is really stupidly, alarmingly nice. Like, much more so than your opponent would expect, or than you would expect. I don't know, I just think it's like... I messed this up a ton in my early construction. I'd be like, well, I'm having some issues. Can I go from 26 to 25 to put in another control card and so on? And often the better thing to do was, like, going from 26 to, like, 27 or 28. But where's our man Rambunctious? Rambunctious. Has Rambunctious asked that question about grad school? Has it been dished? Has it been properly dished? All right, Hall of the Storm Giants first, no problem. Technically, I could run a Plains out, but no. All right, so this is always an indication of some sort of aggro. I mean, I'm assuming that we're going to see either Gruul or either Gruul aggro or some sort of, like, mono green aggro. Alright, let's Play the Deserted Beach. We do have March of Otherworldly Light. Storm Seeker. Alright. Hullbreaker Horror. God, Reckless Storm Seeker is so fucking good. Ugh. I'm gonna put a stop here. Ooh, fuck. Okay. So I'll do this. Actually, I think this is good. I guess we do take 1 extra damage. This is correct to do on my turn. I think it is, due to the fact that my opponent often runs Snakeskin Veils. Hey, Matt Black 37 just gifted 5. My God, Matt Black. Goodbye, Wandering Emperor.
Still have much to learn.
Okay. So we're actually going to wait and see what Ikumi does here, and then we're going to Memory Deluge, leaving up the Deserted Beach to hit, you know, maybe a bounce spell. Hullbreaker Horror is very nice in this regard. So we see what they're doing now. Let's do this and see if we can hit that bounce, our single. Okie. I'm losing this one. My block says, I just wanted to show some appreciation for keeping me sane all those years, Day 9. Been a consistent source of positivity for me and helped me through some hard times. Get off. Hope you have a great rest of the stream. Well, hell yeah. Thanks, Mad Black 37 from heaven. Hope you have the dandiest of times. Is there any way to not die? The answer was no, and I needed to do this last turn. I think that was the actual correct statement. And then we do this, maybe. Get the bouncy thing. Nah. Okay, I think I needed to do this a little bit out of order. Alright. Alright. Doomskar, Faithbound, Judge, Sunset, Revelry, and Portable Hull. Spell Pierce, probably not. Disdainful Strokes, probably not. Witness the Future, super unbelievably fucking nah. Hullbreaker Horror probably just also has to go. I think that this is an acceptable combination of things. Yeah, I mean, I think that this is the sideboarding plan. Oh yeah, Rambunctious hit me with that. This present was muted. Rambunctious, you had a question about math grad school. I want to talk about that while I hopefully win this game. Rambunctious has been my first year of grad school for math, and I've taken 2 classes so far that are very difficult. Galois Theory and Discrete, for those who may be curious. And both classes found it difficult to keep up with work conceptually and struggled on the tests. Confidence is taking a bit of a hit. Wondering if you may have had any similar experiences or just have any advice, Day 9. When I've heard you talk about your experiences in grade school in the past, I've always found it informative. I have good news for you and bad news for very young Sean. Yeah, no, I absolutely had huge amounts of struggles. Enormous amounts of struggles. Let's see what my opponent does next. I might March of Otherworldly Light to pick off the Jaspera Sentinel. The fact of the matter is, I think a lot of... How do I want to do this? I think I'm just going to... really kind of have to play one of these early. You know, I've had friends that have gone to mathematics grad programs. I had this experience when I was in college. A lot of people who go into math enjoyed math because most people that they were being taught or being around, most people that they were around, their peers, were basically constantly worse than they were. You know, like, for instance, when I used to take math tests in high school, I would, like, finish the test in, like, 15 minutes. Alright, seems good. And then I just, like, hang for 30 minutes and just, like, be bored. And, you know, when I got to grad school, or excuse me, to undergraduate, and, like, all of a sudden my homework's, like, really hard, and I, like, literally don't understand it at all. And... you know, I'm, like, trying to do stuff the night before, and it's not like, you know, I've done stuff the night before, and I kind of had this feeling of, like, all right, well, you know, I'll just sit down, I'll smash it out, and it'll be fine. It'll be all fine, it'll be good, it'll be a healthy experience, and everything's gonna go okay. And, no, it did not go okay. In fact, what would happen is I would sit down and finish, like, 20% of the homework. Like, literally 20%. I was getting nothing done. I guess my opponent only has 4 mana things. Guess I'll counter it. What a good nice. And it really messed with me, because I was like, oh my god, do I really suck? Am I actually like an incompetent newbie? Oh god. It felt fucking terrible. Alright, great. So I'm going to... maybe I'm just going to do nothing. No, this is probably... I'm going to pay 1... exile the Sunset Revelry. What? I'm gonna pay X equals... Oh, I choose that X equals... Alright, oh my god. I'm seeing how the interface works, and I also misread how this card functions. So this is okay. Now if I wanted to get rid of this one... Okay. So, like, I think that a couple things that happened to me in my undergrad is I actually kind of had to completely change how I operated as a human being. One, two, three, four. Submit 0, hit this. I started to, like, begin working on assignments on, like, the day of. The day I was assigned, I would begin to work on that shit. Oh, I didn't even realize that. Well, farts. Toski Bear of Secrets being able to do stuff here is bad for us. That's it's actually quite bad. This gains a lot of life, huh? Yeah, I kind of had to change how I was, like, operating. Starting assignments early, not doing the night before. Instead of thinking, oh, I have tonight to do it, being like, I want to make sure I have like 4 or 5 nights to do some math homework. Very different model. And that Toasty is literally going to own the only Sunset Revelry. Save us now. So I'm going to have less health and less cards. Nice. But I think that, like, the big thing that I want to be like, hey, you know, how's... An aspect I'm curious about, which is like, you know, if you're really struggling in your math grad program, is that just because it feels like it's a really big struggle and you don't like that feeling? Or is it because actually something bad has happened? Because chances are... chances are... might not actually be something bad happening. Might actually just be that it just feels really uncomfortable, you know? It's okay for things to feel really uncomfortable. Right away. No attacks, no attacks. Alright, now I can, like, Doomskar and exile Toski and we start to stabilize. Nope.
Ancient magic may be our only.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to return this, return Toasty. Okay, and now I actually have enough exile on stuff. This is looking good. This is looking good. Yeah, but I mean, you might actually just be correctly feeling uncomfortable in your grad program, and you might have to, like, really change your approach. Sort of flip side consideration of this? Flip side consideration of this? It's okay if you are not a fan of math grad school and after 2-3 years you like have a master's and you just drop. That's okay. Because like really, really high level math is extremely abstract. Fate-bound judge. Probably. Mixture of them. So we're gonna do this. If I do this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's what I think. That's what I think. That's what I think. Let's just see what a cookie does. We can exile that. What? Nama of West. Are we fucking kidding here, man? So is it daytime again? Alright, let's see what happens. Convert a mana cost to 4. Submit 0. We're going to exile this one. I feel confident that my situation falls under option A. While I've struggled and frustrated and felt disappointed in my... They just do this, right? I think your suggestion to fundamentally restructure my day-to-day life is a very good one. I'll have to think about that, more about that. You're the man, Day 9. I love this community. Yeah, I'm happy. That's a lovely outcome for the story. Get that land out there. Yeah, I mean, I just think that it is... Just feeling like crap is... I mean, that shit's normal, dude. So I have less cards, less health, less creature. Activates all 3. Great. Yeah, I'm gonna go fucking... I'm gonna judge this guy. There are 3 or more judgment counters on it, and Chin player loses the game. And a bunch of this, and I think it's so sick. Oh, fuck. Yeah, let's do this. Well, that was fun. Bunch of this thing is so sick you remembered from an hour ago that I had a question I wanted to ask you. I knew asking during sideboarding wasn't going to be good. Yeah, no, we got you, man. We got you. Oh, that's really bad one. Oh, that's fucking... I mean, that's so bad for us. Jesus. I mean, that's fucking terrible news. You know what? It's gonna be fine. We're gonna get there. Let's see if we can get that farewell. Holy shit. Holy shit, we didn't get it. Okay. What is the play? Is it to dig for more farewells? I think it actually is to dig for more farewells. This thing's gonna end our life really fast, man. I think maybe this is what we go. Wandering Emperor, and we actually get, bizarrely enough, I think we get, like, Deserted Beach. So that way we can have enough mana to do the things that we want. Oh, wait, I put it down. Doopsie. Very doopsie daisies. Alright, well. Wow. Get this one out of here, and then we can Eiganjo Seed of the Empire, pick off a reckless little Storm Seekery pal. Esicus Chariot, Jesus. Well. Alright, well I'm actually now going to pick off this one, because I don't want to exile all artifacts. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Alright. Ow, ow, ow. Maybe we just draw it off the top. That feels like maybe the play that we're actually secretly all hoping for. Is we just draw that off the top. Like, why wouldn't we? More importantly, why would we? Alright, Memory Deluge first. Get it. Wow, I really didn't actually get there. Huh. Wow. Really? Wow. It's like the bottom. 10 cards. Wow, okay. 26. So there's 26 cards, and we've cast Memory Deluge twice. So there's 5 random piles on the bottom that don't contain that. So we just try to pick off post-game.
I've learned much during my travels.
I mean, it's about what we got. Alright. Okie dokie. I think we have died. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. Damn it. Damned. Well, maybe my opponent will mess up. My opponent will make a mistake. You know, I'm not too horribly upset about this. The fact of the matter is, like, we have 3 farewells in the bottom 16. Yeah, maybe I should have waited. No, you got it, man. Like, literally, just kill me. There we go. Goodness. I mean, that's one of those things where, I mean, that particular moment, particular game was like, you know, sometimes you just have a bunch of sweepers in the deck and you have lots of ways to access them and you just don't get there. And I'm not too upset about that. Not too upset about that. We're gonna go ahead and fire it up. Alright. Playing it. Also, that is like the longest aggro matchup we've had. Hengegate on the white side. Valorous, 91 months. Oh my gosh, for Zach. 91 months, Valorous. 9 months away from the juicy 100. My god, before the year's end, you will cross the 100 line. Oh my god, we went second against an aggro list. This is incredible. We're gonna do it. Oh yes, that's perfect. Then I can haul the Stream Giants. I'm not gonna chump yet with the Spirited Companion. Dude, I think the word spirited is like legitimately hilarious. Whoa, don't attack. So we're expecting the 3/1 flapping jerk face that peeks into my hand like a total twat. Lozzie says, just came from your Dark Souls 3 play to see if you were live. First time I've caught you since the Day 9 dailies. Well, hello, Lozzie. Good to see you. Your opponent's going to play. There it is. Paulo Vitor Damaderosa's trying to come down. Bye. Alright, so now we're going to do... I'm actually doing this. I can Revitalize and Jwari Disrupt. Dude, Thursday's Elden Ring. It's dropping at 3 p.m. Pacific, so I'm just gonna like sit here and wait. We're just gonna like wait and keep refreshing and F5ing. Oh my god. Thursday and Friday are gonna be good days. Figured out a long-term play with it? Sure heaven, Ghosty. Sure heaven. I might just play it all the following week, and if viewership's bad, then viewership's bad. Who cares, man? I'm like so excited just to like experience that game and to play it. Man, I'll be a full-time Elden Ring streamer. Oh, you did what now? What a bastard. Alright, so here's what we're gonna do. We're actually gonna Wandering Emperor response. Then we're gonna minus.
I hope you're ready to lose. Let your blade do the talking.
Great message. I cannot wait for Elden Ring. It's been a really good month for games to get Elden Ring and Total War Warhammer 3. Yes. Yes, it is.
We must protect the people.
What's the normal threshold when you abandon a game because of low viewership? I don't know, probably 1,500, Draham. Well, abandon is a strong word because, like, for instance, there's times when I just, like, wanted to play the game all day and I just didn't care what the viewership was. Like, Superland. I was enjoying playing Superland. I was really enjoying that. And the viewership was at, like, 1,000, like 800. Like, not a lot of people were interested in watching that game. On, like, day 2.5. So, that's fine, and it's, like, totally okay. There's also times when viewership is great, like with Yu-Gi-Oh, where I was just like, nah, I'm not gonna keep playing this game. This game is way too deep. This game has way too many mechanics and complexity that I need to learn. Yu-Gi-Oh is a game that you can try out for 2 hours or invest 100 hours in, and there's like no in between. I was like, ah, whatever. But yeah, I mean, I tend not to do very many viewership-driven decision-makings, Draham. Like, my Monday shows, mostly walking, is like 800 people. What are you doing, SBK? What are we doing, SBK? Sure. Look at you. You'll be exiled forever. You're dead. You too, double block. This. Boom. But yeah, so I mean, let me actually take a look at my show sheet. Show schedule. Show sheet. Yeah, I basically have all the next week as Elden Ring, and then probably some. Let me just put MTG standard after that. So then, I mean, it's Elden Ring Thursday and Friday, and then next week is probably just going to be a bunch of Elden Rings. Highly likely. And then, so, last week of February, first week of March, second week of March, we're definitely going to be doing some RTS Nostalgia streaming. 100%. Haven't decided what I'm going to play yet. Intrepid Adversary! Oh, that's actually, like, so terrific. This is +1 first strike and 2 end of turns. Plus it up, plus it in.
Remember your training.
I'm gonna do this first. Alright, well, that kinda stinks, but what can you do? Keiki Endy is really fun. Yeah, what are Adlin Resplendent Cathar?
never done for good.
I actually do wish to investigate. Alright, yeah. Witness. Hullbreakers. Probably the Spell Pierce. Maybe Valorous Stance as well. Portable Hulls, Doomskars, Faithbound Judges, Sunset Revelries. These are all good. All very good, very clear. Oh, there's the Disdainful Strokes. I was like, there's something else I'm missing here. Actually, in this matchup, having some Hullbreaker Horrors is actually probably going to be okay. Yeah, what nostalgia RTS game should we play? There's not as many games at end of February and early March. Like, I'm looking forward to Tunic. That's one that I've got my eye on. There's Weird West. There's Starship Troopers RTS that's coming out. I'm playing that shit. Dwarf Fortress might be occurring in April. I'm probably going to be doing Satisfactory whenever Update 6 happens, which might be in March. And I'll be honest, I have been getting really interested in doing another Factorio run. I've been getting really interested in that. I love Factorio. But I'll probably do Satisfactory. Potato P7 says, going to do any crazy mods? I don't know. I kind of wanted to do a Death World marathon. Draconis says, what is Factorio? Oh my god, Draconis, it's so good. Okay. Factorio is a game about automation, okay? Factorio is a game about automation. And so, let's come up with an example of a problem, right? Well, actually, the game is, you're an engineer that's landed on a mysterious alien planet full of hostile life, and you need to build a rocket to let you get off this planet. Now, in a simplified sense, it kind of has the survival crafty idea of, you know, you get some stones and some wood and some coal and some iron and some copper, and you assemble them into some more advanced components. But the game immediately starts going way crazy deep. So here's an example, Draconis. There are 6 levels of science in the game that I'm going to call Science 1, Science 2, Science 3, Science 4. And you will need these to research technology. So unlike a traditional game where it's like spend $800 and when you've bought it, then the research goes on for an hour and then it's complete. The way it works in Factorio is once you get Science 1, it contributes a unit of progress towards whatever you're researching. So maybe you want to research whatever it is, the next technology. It requires 5,000 Science 1s. 5,000 is a lot. So if you were to try to handcraft the Science 1, that might actually take you 2 seconds to handcraft it. But 2 times 5,000 is 10,000 seconds. And that is not interesting. Just sit there crafting it. So the way the game works is you build a daisy chain of various machines and conveyor belts and contraptions that will permit you to automatically produce the science. So the way the chain would work is that you would have some coal that you've collected. We're going to know how that works, but you have automatic mining drills, and the automatic mining drills will drill up for you. Automatic mining drills will drill up for you some copper and some iron ore. Conveyor belts then bring the iron and copper ore over to smelters. You then have mechanical arms that pick up the copper and iron and deposit that. All right, so I want to pick off the... Yeah, you know, I'm going to do this. I'm going to just portable hull. So then, you have a little arm that picks up the ore and puts it in a smelter. And then another one that pulls it out of the smelter where the iron is turned into an iron plate, or the copper is turned into a copper plate. And then, you know what? Oh shit, I did that wrong. I thought that I had timed it correctly, but I was just so engaged. So then you bring the copper over to a facility that takes copper and turns it into copper wires. And then you take the iron to various areas where you turn the iron into components like gears. And then these things get brought to another assembler, all on conveyor belts, that takes these in to produce science, and then the science gets automatically put on a conveyor belt, and the conveyor belt then gets automatically brought to your science facility, where Science Pack 1 is consumed to do the research. And so what makes the game fun, Draconis, is that you start to build these enormous chains of contraptions that are trying to solve specific problems. And then new problems start emerging, and as you try to fix those new problems, the old problems start coming back or changing. So, for instance, I was playing, and I was realizing that I was starting to take up more and more and more space, because you need more and more and more space to do all this stuff. While you're doing this, the local population, which is basically the Zerg, they're called biters, a bunch of aliens, don't like that you're, you know, kind of polluting their space. So they want to attack you. So I knew, okay, I need to start building up defenses for this attack. But it was taking up so much space that I thought to myself, okay, I'm going to just create a ring of turrets, and then I'm going to make a ring of conveyor belts around my base. White. I'm going to create a ring of conveyor belts around my base with ammo that I'll build to automatically produce all the, oh my god, I fucking hate Thalia. There are few cards in this game that I hate more than Thalia Guardian. So then you know what happened? I built this entire set of machinery to produce ammunition for my turrets. And lo and behold, I started to run out of ammo. Or something, I started to run out of iron and copper in my main science production line. So I was like, ah, fuck. So I then had to march off and build even more smelters and get even more copper and iron coming into my base. And you know what happened when I did that? I realized that I literally had so much stuff. Well, I mean, that does help. Oh, shit. That's fucking right. Oh my god. Fuck. Yeah, sure. Doesn't even matter. Yeah, I did all of that, and then, you know what happened? I ran out of coal to power anything, so my entire base lost power and everything stopped operating. And I was like, oh my god, shit! I was like screaming, I was like, ah! It was very, very painful. Oops, not you. You, though. What am I missing? Spell Pierce. Spell Pierce. It's so fun. It's so fun. And so, like, it's just these chains of incredible insanity and satisfying fun. It's so good. Oh, I love it. It's one of my 10 out of 10 games. It's one of my 10 out of 10 games. It's so incredible. And I mean, it just keeps scaling up and up and up. So, like, you know, the first thing you learn is your basic conveyor belt automation. And then you start to realize that you need more resources and you're starting to, like, run out. And so, you know what you do? You learn that you can build trains, and the trains have programmable AI. And so you start to have, like, an AI train, like, travel to a really far away outpost that you've built, that it automatically loads up copper, and then it comes all the way back to your base and it unloads the copper. Oh my god. I mean, it's fucking awesome, dude. Jesus, it's the best. Alright, this is going to be a very painful game. We'll play this one. This is second. This is third. I always say this as I forget. Do you watch Nephrons? I mean, I have absolutely watched Nephrons play before. Like, Nephrons is the world record holder of Factorio. Any percent. I think he's gotten to, like, launch the rocket in, like, 90 minutes or... Like, the last time I was watching it was, like, 2 hours. What's his record right now? Nothing. Nothing at all, huh? I guess I actually am gonna submit 0. Do this. So I can Valorous Stance and Revitalize. How does it compare to Dyson Sphere program? Great script. I would say that Factorio is the original automation game, so it's been getting played for so long and has been optimized so much for so long that it's much tighter, much cleaner, much more robustly thought out than pretty much any other game that I've seen in the genre. I mean, it's just so hard to compete with how much stuff is in that game. I don't think we worry that much about it. I think we Memory Deluge end of turn with Valorous Stance to pick it up. Okay, and this is 4. I think it's okay to just take some pain here. Hopefully it's like +1 counter on this, +1 counter on that. Perfect. Valorous Stance has just turned out to be an astoundingly good card. Right. Alright, so we should play this for white. Valorous Stance to play this. Sunset Revelry, now double rocks. Rocks, I guess. Nice. Yeah, so I think that, like, Dyson Sphere program, when I played it, I was like, oh, this is awesome. And it's like a little, just a little bit small compared to Factorio. And not as clean and refined. So I'm going to Seagate Restoration. draw 3. Probably gonna eat some pain here, but I think it's okay. What do you think, Satisfactory? Hebrew Hammer, we're going to be doing a big playthrough of Satisfactory in March after they do their update 6, because I've never played it. That's going to be the one that we chump. Are we even trying the eventual Dwarf Fortress? Oh yeah, no, we're keen to do a little dwarfing. The Dwarf Fortress and stop here and see what happens. It's like Memory Deluge to look for 7 is probably going to be quite good. Great. Really great. Oh, it's farewell. Oh, it's the Wandering Emperor. Ah! My God, the feeling to just draw what you want to draw. Oh. Everything. Dude, it's just look at how powerful this card is. All right. Die.
My people must contend. I am almost sad to see you go.
Almost sad.
I have got new moves to teach you.
Exile is just an absolute monster keyword.
Keep watch for intruders.
Ethan says, do you feel powerful? Dude, so powerful. Luminarch Aspirant. Make me huge. I mean, next turn we're going to start smashing you with the Cave of the Frost Dragon.
We've got the edge in this fight.
So since I have the Faithbound Judge in the grave, I'm just gonna kill him that way. Faithbound Judge to kill an aggro player is fucking super awesome. I mean, that's just rad. That's just goodness. This one? Oh. Just exile it then. Great. Alright. All right. Certainly, Zeta, what considerations have you given to MMOs? I mean, I tried out New World and was not a fan. And I mean, frankly, I played New World and was just like, oh, this is like not a lot of fun. Like, literally the first 3-4 hours, the issue I had was just like using the attack button was not fun. You know, like, leveling up and unlocking new abilities was not fun. Wandering around and finding various boss-like entities to fight. Those fights were not fun. So, like, I don't know, I just kind of stopped. I did play a lot of Diablo 2, and that was some fun stuff. Ooh, that was the goods. I'm going to pass through and just Jwari Disruption, whatever comes out next. I've never done Final Fantasy XIV, never done WoW class. Okay. Let's do this. Whoa, video game. Open up, open up. You know what really sucks? I bumped my computer and then it froze. All right. All right. Phew! Oh! Out of my way, Jimmy the Beard. This is non-land permanent here, huh? I can feel myself getting played around. Okie dokie. So this is 2 damage. So I let this resolve, I think. All right. Now this is a bit painful. Because I'm going to shoot this, but... Oh, that's good, that's good. That's... My god, the news is just good. I sure, yeah. I think you're going to love to hear this, little baby. I think you're going to just love to hear this. I love you too. So happy with how they played all this out. Okay, this is maybe actually going to be okay. Maybe actually going to be okay. Look at this cat. This is a perfect little kitten. All right, yep. Tell me the secrets to being a small, little, tiny brown cat. Tell me, what is it like? And this does this, and this does that, and this does this, and this does this, and everyone's like doing things to everyone else. It's gonna be like so sick. You really want the lap, don't you? You want the lap experience. I'd like to invite you to one of our premium shoulders. This is a luxury comfort shoulder, a presidential shoulder. Oh, nice trample, yeah. This shoulder has 5 stars on the owl. Oh, that's such a... What the perfect yo. Oh, it's a 3-4. Oh, Jesus. I think this one first. That is just a shit draw, man. Sheriff's like, oh yeah, fucking dad's got nothing. What a sad bad dad. No, Sure Bear, no. +2 plus zone gains trample and haste. We're not gonna stop. Can I say it? Henry Mancini's like the best composer of all time for media. Just the best. Number 1. Such a distinct sound. So incredibly good. You know, here's a question that I actually think that I haven't asked you, maybe in an incredibly long time, but like what are your favorite games of all time? What are your favorite games of all time? Hey-ho. Hey-ho. Oh my god, I think I've lost. Hey-ho. I looked in the top 7, what am I actually trying to get? I think I do this one. I think this is right. You have to pick one. You have to pick one game, and you have to tell me why. You have to pick one game, and you have to tell me why it's your favorite game of all time. And I know I looked away because this is a complicated turn. Get out of here. Ayo. Ayo. Ooh, I'm happy that this is the play that I did. That guy has some sort of bullshit like a snakeskin veil. Oh my god, Voxy. Speaking of people that have cute animals on their stream. Voxy just rated us for 472. Voxy, how are you? We're having a tricky series of games over here. Very tricky series. Very tricky sequence of gameronis and the pepperonis. Let's see, what are the favorite games of all time of our residents? On Twitch is Dark Souls 3, at least for 36 more hours. Nice. Let's see here. Snuggly Sadis is Dota 2. It is like crack. Dude. Dude, it's just... It is so... good. I love Dota. I think we've navigated this situation successfully. I'm like really pleased with how this game's playing. Not just as in like we're gonna win, but like also, oh my god, like the standard feels really nice right now. I really like this. Alright, there it is. And I am totally going to smash this thing down. I want no cards in hand. I want to lay it all out on the table. Yo, Voxy, how was your stream? How's your day been? Happy Tuesday. Happy 2/22/22. It's Tuesday. Happy 2/22/22/22 day. My god. Hope you had a wonderful time. I haven't gotten to do any of the drafts yet in Neon Hiding. And I am excited about doing it. Alright, what's Deluge? Facebound Doug. That's gonna be a good one. I'm gonna hold on to this. Let's do it. JPants33 says King's Quest IV, the first game I ever fell in love with and started my life as a gamer. Isn't King's Quest IV the one where you like get on the boat and you're on the boat for fucking ever for like a substantial amount of in-game time, like 15 minutes, where you're like, there's the wizard, you're in the wizard's house, and the wizard just keeps killing the shit out of you? Oh, we're stabilization commencing. King's Quest 3. Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. I love those old games. See, G-Frank says Chrono Trigger because of the art, the music, the seasoning of nostalgia, the replayability, the nice, concise playthrough time. Gosh, yeah. I mean, I still listen to the Chrono Trigger soundtrack. I mean, Chrono Trigger just packs incredible characters, some really interesting world building. Reasonable, nice combat, but you know, honestly, the combat's like, it's fine. Combat's fine. It's not like, whoa, this game has combat, whoa, you know, it's like, no, it's alright. Slices, I assume that the concise playthrough of a JRPG means about 50 hours. It's actually much more condensed than that. I think I did my playthrough in like 16, maybe 20. Redder Guitar says, I've thought about it, and it's definitely Prince of Persia Sands of Time. What an incredible game. I played it 4 times in the course of one weekend. Yeah, it's so good. If you've not played Chrono Trigger, it's just perfect, man. Somebody make a mistake. We have 2 very good flash reactionary cards. I'm gonna keep bopping in the skies like I'm a good guy. I'm actually gonna put this aside. I just don't really feel like listening to the audio anymore. I don't feel like listening to the audio anymore. Hey ho. Hey ho. Alright, great. So this is going to go on this, and this is going to go on this, and this is going to kill this. It gets bigger. Alright, hey, tell me, what's your favorite game of all time? And give me a reason. Oh, shit, this thing isn't fucking tapped? Oh, I didn't know it had vigilance. Oh, we just lost. Oh, I didn't realize that one of its keywords was vigilance. Hey, do I have that bounce spell anywhere here? Hey, no, it looks like I'm saying there's a chance. No. No, we're fucking dead here, huh? Ah, shit, man. Oh, that sucks. Oh, wait, did you know that flyers can block flyers? Oh, shit, man, I'm fucking awful at this game. Oh, my God, it's incredible. All right, this is... Okay. All right, this is... you might not know this, but I've never played this game before, so... Woo! Let's just get that one out of there. I like, almost conceded, but the thing is that I hit escape with this hand, and this hand is busy hitting a button. So, you know, just kind of saying. It's amazing. Perfect. Here I go. Doink. Is it doink? Is it pow? Is it boom?
But I'm going to end it. I am almost sad to see you go.
I'm just gonna put everything face up. It doesn't even matter.
Do the talking.
Seven and 2 is 9, right? Yeah. I can't win right now. Terrachovas' Destruction Derby 64 on N64. Oh, yes, what I'm talking about.
Anyone who harms my
If I
people
-2
must
this.
contend with me.
Yeah, there we go.
Keep watch for intruders.
There it is. My gosh, in spite of our own inability to understand what the cards in the game do, we figured out the way to win. Hiya. That's all. Show says, Destruction Derby 64 on this 64 when I was younger, it was the game I wanted to own, but for various reasons never could. Couldn't find it in stores, could only rent a single copy from the local Blockbuster. It was one of the few games I had that I could play with my late grandma that I lived with at the time. I later learned that she would play it on her own while I was at school to try to get better and beat me. So much nostalgia. That is awesome. That is so awesome. Yes, dude. Oh. Can I just say, that is one of the devastating effects of Netflix, is like, you have no idea how much anticipation was baked into every trip to Netflix. Or not to Netflix, to Blockbuster, man. Every trip to Blockbuster. Like, Friday's coming up. Oh, shit, we got Friday. We got Friday incoming. And if Friday's incoming, you know what that means? We're gonna go to Blockbuster and, like, discuss with my brother what we're gonna do all week. Like, oh, shit, like, we just gotta... Maybe we should get this game. No, I saw that game. We'd only get one. My mother would only let us rent one fucking thing. $4 on a Friday night. And it would be like, it would be laid out. And every once in a while, my mom would buy me Milk Duds, which is the name of a candy. Jeez, that's a horrible name for a fucking candy. You know, and I would be like eating my Milk Duds, and I'd be like playing this game. And sometimes mom would be like, you know what? Let's get a game and a movie. And then we'd like watch a movie, and then we'd play a game, and my mom would be like, all right, it's 11, you have to go to bed. And I would like sit in bed on Friday night and be like, I just want to wake up and play fucking Contra 2 or whatever it was. Oh my god, it was so fucking sick. And I mean, like, Netflix and chill? Like, oh yeah, let's invite your crush over. Let's have your crush, and we'll just like drape an arm around each other. One of us just like, have you seen that? Does this seem good? And Netflix like keeps starting fucking movies, and it keeps going that dum-kong, you know, that's little thrummy, loud fucking intro. It just keeps playing things, and it's like really messing with the mood. Like, let me tell you, the ceremony of like a girl, you'd like go on a dinner date, it'd be nice, you'd have borrowed your mom's car, and then you'd drive to the Blockbuster afterwards, your tummies were full, hormones were racing through your veins, and then you would like look at the wall and you'd just be like strolling through the store, you were considering like maybe holding hands, maybe not. There's like all this, ooh, this is a fun little ceremony. And then okay, there's a little break of tension because you got to get back in the car. You got to get back in the car because remember, dinner where you're looking at each other, car you're sitting next to each other. Tension again in Blockbuster, we can like look at each other again, and then there's a little bit of break while you're in the car, and then you get to the fucking house where you are like gonna go to someone's finished basement or some shit. This was a big deal in Kansas because houses in Kansas are required to have basements because we have tornadoes and shit. So then you'd have like a finished basement, right? Oh my god. We didn't have one. We had like a concrete storage basement, right? But like fucking these other people would have like finished basement. You'd go down there and you'd like close the door and you'd like watch movies down in the finished basement. Oh, it was so much fucking better than Netflix. Oh, that experience was so much better. Oh my god, it feels so good. Oh, Jesus. Like, I miss that. I really, really miss that stuff. I fucking miss that. I miss it.